I think my best friend's dad is probably the love of my life. Story time. My name is Nwaneka and I come from an extremely poor background. Luckily for me, I was offered scholarship to study in the university where I met my best friend, Chiamaka. Now, Amaka also comes from a poor background and things were not easy for us as our scholarship only covered our school fees. It did not cover feeding and accommodation. I'm sure you've heard the saying, birds of a feather flock together. Soon enough, Amaka became influenced by the girls that she saw on campus living a very large life. And before I knew it, my best friend already had multiple sugar daddies, changing her lifestyle. Amaka started coming home with different gifts, food items, clothes, things that we could not afford. And she was very kind enough to share the food with me. I was not lacking in any way because my best friend was very generous to me. This made our quality of life to improve greatly. Like they say, a bad apple spoils the whole bunch. Soon, I began to wish for this quality of life for myself. Amaka must have sensed my desire to change my lifestyle and she encouraged me to follow suit. Amaka realized I was a bit hesitant and she told me point blank that it was only fair I also contributed to the household expenses. If not, she would only fend for herself, since my contributions were really small because that's what my parents could afford to give me. She made it clear that if I don't get a boyfriend slash sugar daddy by the end of the month, she would move out of the house and leave me to my fate. I caved in, much to the delight of Amaka. She started taking me to different clubs where potential sugar daddies would hang out. At this point, I knew I was no longer a good girl. I started drinking, keeping late nights, and missing classes. We were like two peas in a pod, living identical lives. On certain days, I had to go to the club alone as Amaka already had a sugar daddy who she was always busy with. One day, while I was wolfing down a plate of nkwobi and red wine, a man approached me. "A pretty girl like you shouldn't be sitting alone," he said. I looked at him and smiled. From his appearance, it looked like he was in his late 50s, but he looked very distinguished and very classy. I brought out my card to pay my bills, and he said, "No, I will take care of your bills for you." Well, to cut a long story short, he asked me out, and I said yes. The relationship progressed, and I would give Amaka the details of how it was going. This man really changed my life. Soon enough, Amaka and I moved from the hostel to a nice 3-bedroom apartment. We had good cars to drive to school. To say the least, we were living small girl, big God lifestyle. At this point, we hadn't even met each other's sugar daddies. Under the most unfavorable circumstance, I found out my sugar daddy was actually Amaka's father. I saw the post she made on Facebook with the caption, "Happy birthday, dearest dad." To say I was shocked was an understatement. "Amaka, this man looks like a well-to-do man, but you tell me you're from a poor background." "Yes," Amaka said, "that's my father. He hardly takes care of the home front, and my mom suffers in silence, while my dad spends money on his numerous girlfriends. He has been financially abusive to us all my life. He would rather spend money on his girlfriends than take care of his home front. He is extremely stingy to us, and my mom has been scared of leaving him. So tell me, my dear friend, are we not poor? We are very poor." The guilt has been eating at me. What do I do? Should I tell my friend? I can't believe this man is extremely wicked and stingy to his family. As I speak now, this man is about to buy a house for me on the island and open a store for me. Please comment down below. What should I do? Should I tell my best friend and break up with him? Or should I pretend I don't know he is her father and continue the relationship? Thanks very much.